Hello, my name is Michael Butterfield. I'm going to be doing the journal report for CIT360, and I would just like to go over some of the things that I learned in this class. And I'm not going to kind of go over coding topics and like the things that I said in the weekly reflections, because those are there, my weekly reflections and my sharing videos. I'm kind of going to go over my learning throughout the semester and kind of how my learning development changed, or how learning development changed for me. At the beginning of the semester, I looked over what I did is I kept a journal throughout the lessons, just each week. I'd write a paragraph or two about what I was able to learn. I will link that with my portfolio. But after reading over it, now that it's the end of the semester, I made a PowerPoint presentation to reflect on how I felt throughout the semester and how I was able to learn and change how I learn when I'm trying to learn a new coding topics or a new programming language. So at first, I started the class and I was like, what? No quizzes, no exams, no iLearn assignments? I've never had a class like that before. This is crazy to me. So at the first glance, yeah, it was terrifying. How am I going to pass the class? Where's my grade going to come from? How am I going to know what to do? And those were the things that just scared me at first. And after the semester went on, I started to realize some things. I realized that I wasn't confined to the information in a textbook like I am with other classes. For example, in other classes, I'll read the chapter for the week, and that's it. I'm done. I take the quiz, and I'm done. However, with this class, I don't really finish my work for the week, or I didn't finish the work for the week until I really knew what was going on, until I really understood the coding topic. And that was a great thing. And I feel like this is kind of some good real world experience too, because in the real world, you don't have a textbook that says how to work at XYZ Corporation. You don't have that textbook. You have to go out and learn yourself. And so I feel like this class is some great real world experience. And after taking this class, I kind of realized how pointless quizzes are. They are there, like it said, the video in the beginning of the semester said that it just makes the professor's job easier. It's easy for the professor to see, okay, this student got 7 out of 10 questions right. He's got a 70% of the knowledge of the class. But at the same time, that is just a tool there for the instructor to make his job easier, or for the university. And I feel like with this class, you can really learn more by actually studying the coding topics and actually studying the programming language or the language. You can learn more that way than you can studying for what the answer to the quiz questions are. So you focus more time on actually learning instead of learning how to pass the quizzes, if that makes sense. And this really gives you an opportunity to teach yourself, to my next slide about teaching yourself. Stack Overflow is frustrating, but it's a great resource, and I feel like it's a tool that I finally am able to understand how to use. And I never made my own questions. I never posted my own questions on there. And the reason was because every single question that I had, it had already been answered. So now that I see that, I kind of understand how useful Stack Overflow is. And part of that is learning how to find information all by yourself. You can Google it. There are some great resources on the internet. A quick Google search can give you so much information. And so I'd like to reiterate how you're not confined to the information in a textbook, and you don't have to rely on a textbook. Sometimes I've had classes where you get a textbook and then you take the quiz, and it seems like the topics in the quiz weren't even covered in the textbook. And when you have a class like this, you're able to go out and learn, and then you don't even have to worry about a quiz. All you have to worry about is learning, so you can be the best team member you can be, or so you can develop the best understanding portfolio in the class, or at least try to. And when you yourself understand that, I feel like that is something that's more important than learning how to pass a quiz. And just reiterate this again, it's good preparation for real world experience. And another thing that I thought was great with this class was teaching one another. The sharing videos were awesome. At the beginning of the semester, I didn't like the idea of the whole class community and kind of separating the work into iLearn and the class community. It just confused me. But now that I'm used to it, I feel like it's great because the sharing videos because of teaching one another. And that's one of the principles that BYU Idaho has stood behind ever since I've been a student there. And I've been in BYU Idaho for like 4 years now, since 2012. So a lot longer than I wish, but I'm getting close to the end. So I feel like this class really takes teach one another, that principle, and backs it up good, because the sharing videos on the team community and also team app development. And one thing that I'd like to say about team app development is I don't have any real world experience. Like, I've never had a job in the IT field. I've never been a developer, and through this class I was able to learn about agile methodology and how helpful that would be in a professional work environment. I feel like if we were able to have a daily stand-up meeting or a daily scrum in this class, the app development would have been so much better, because it's able to take so many of the roadblocks that you run into with development and overcome them. Like, for example, maybe some of the guys on the team, two of the guys are coding or working on the same block of code or the same function, and they don't need to be. Or maybe two guys are coding apps in a completely different direction. Or, I mean, these aren't things that I faced in this class, but these are just definitely things that I could see from this class that could potentially come up. And I was just able to learn how agile methodology and the daily scrum meetings and scrum in general could really help overcome a lot of these problems. And another thing about the teach one another principle is that students are able to teach other students in a way that textbooks can't. Because if I learn something, I'm able to explain to someone else how I learned it. But if I got to a professional level of an instructor, I can't remember how I learned it. I just know that I know it. And then teaching it then is something that it's very beneficial, but I feel like students need both sides of it. They need to be able to be taught from students and from instructors. And these are the main topics that I feel like I wanted to reflect on in this journal report. And it's changed. It's unfortunate that I only have 2 classes left before I graduate, because this style of learning is something that I wish I could take with me into other classes. But now I just have to do my senior thesis and an internship. But this style of learning is something that I'm going to take with me as I enter the professional field. I'm going to post this video in the class community. If anyone has any questions, let me know. I'll do my best to answer. Thank you for watching.